So let's get started in a comfortable seat. Cross-legged or otherwise, sitting up nice and tall on the sits bones. Roll the shoulders up towards the ears and then gently draw them back and down, opening up through the chest. Place the hands on the knees. Draw the chin back in space to lengthen through the back of the neck. Closing the eyes or keeping a soft gaze, begin to turn your awareness inwards. Drawing your attention to your breath. The gentle and easy flow in through the nose and out through the nose. Begin to notice what sensations of the breath resonate with you most. It could be the sensation of the cool air when you inhale, or the warmer air as you exhale. It could be the rise and the fall of your chest and your belly. It could be the sound of your breath. Whatever sensation kind of resonates with you most, keep using this as an anchor for your awareness. So as your mind wanders to thoughts, without judgment, acknowledge these thoughts and then gently turn your awareness back to the sensations of your breath. Noticing the sensation of smell, as well as the sensation of taste inside your mouth. Relax your jaw and the tongue. Notice the sensation of sound, both distant and near. Sounds that are passing and sounds that are constant. Notice the sensation of sight, whether you're keeping a soft gaze or your eyes are closed, just notice what you see, either with your soft gaze or within your mind's eye. Noticing the sensation of touch, how your clothes feel on your skin or the air on your skin. And taking a scan of your physical body, notice if there's anywhere that you're holding tension or stress, and soften these areas even just a tiny bit. Scanning through the jaw, the shoulders, the arms, sometimes through the belly, through the hips, softening the knees closer to the ground. And then gently draw your awareness back to your breath. Have the intention for this practice to honor and listen to the cues of your own body over everything else. by keeping your awareness on your breath. Keep with the sensations that your body is cueing you to go a little bit deeper or come out a little bit of any given posture. With this intention and all intentions, gather your hands to heart center. Fully inhale through the nose. Exhale fully. And then gently flutter light back into the eyes. Swing the legs around. Hands come to the mat. Knees come to the mat. Press the ground away from you. Shoulders drop back in space. Inhale, tilt the pelvis up, open through the chest, coming into cow pose. Exhale, round through the spine, vertebra by vertebra, draw the head between the arms. Inhale, starting from the low back, opening up through the chest. Exhale, tuck the belly under as you draw the head between the arms. Inhaling to lift and open. Exhaling to draw the tail under as the chin draws towards the chest. Continue to move with the breath. Noticing what you notice through the body. And then begin to move in any other ways that feel good. Coming back to that intention of listening to the cues of your own body and honoring those. It doesn't just stand for difficult postures or easy postures that you want to take a bit further or come out of a little bit. It can come in variations of cat-cow that feel good through the body, stretching out the spine and the hips. Just taking a moment to move with your breath. Lengthening through the spine and opening up through the hips and low back. Even the neck a little bit. Strong through the arms. Taking a couple more cycles of breath here, allowing the breath to be your guide. And then gently come back to a neutral spine. Begin to flex into that right foot. Inhale, lift the right foot up towards the sky and open up like in cow pose. Exhale, draw the knee in towards the chest and round through the spine. Inhale to lift, flexing the foot up towards the sky. Exhale, draw it in as the knee draws up towards the chest. Inhale to lift. Exhale. Drawing it in, same idea as cow, your cat-cow. Inhaling to lift. Exhale, draw it in, squeezing the low belly. Moving with the breath. Inhaling to lift. Exhale, draw it in. The last one, stay lifted. And then option to stay here, begin to lift the left arm forward. And then begin to draw the left arm back in space, grabbing a hold of the opposite foot. So left hand to right foot. Keep flexing into that foot, opening up through the chest. Strong through the low belly. And then gently release that side down to the mat. Tuck the toes under, lift the knees, lift the hips, find downward facing dog. Pausing here for a moment, bending into one knee and into the other, opening up through the backs of the legs. Long through the spine. And then bringing the big toes to touch. Inhale, the right leg high, bends the knee, open up through the hip. So Right heel draws over towards the left space. Keep drawing the right knee up towards the sky. Opening up through the right hip. Begin to square the hips off. Squeeze the belly as you draw the knee in towards the chest. Inhale, lift up and back. Exhale, draw it in. Shoulders come over wrists. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, draw the knee in. Last one, inhaling up and back. Exhale, draw the knee in and plant the right foot forward. Find your balance first before you inhale, lift up to crescent lunge. Exhale, horizon twist, opening up towards the right. Inhale, lifting the hands up, sink the hips a little bit lower. And then exhale, fingertips come down to the mat, step the left foot forward to join the right at the front of the mat. And then on an exhale, fold and melt towards the legs, releasing the head and the neck. Nod the head yes. Nod the head no. Begin to sink the hips down, coming into chair pose. Knees stay over ankles, and then as you're ready, inhale, lifting the arms up towards the sky. Biceps frame the ears. Sink the hips a little bit lower. Long through the spine, find your breath. Hands come down into heart center, and then finding a chair twist, we're gonna hook our left elbow onto our right knee, and then draw the torso into a twist. Low back, middle back, upper back, even a little bit through the neck. Sharing the love of the twist, and then keep thinking about drawing your right knee forward, your left knee back, to kind of keep your knees in the same line. Notice the breath. And then gently unwind. Inhale, lifting the arms up. Exhale, hands come down through heart center, twisting onto the other side. So right elbow, left knee, twisting through the low belly, mid belly, and chest. Notice the breath and gently come back through center. Inhale, lift everything up, lengthen through the legs, lifting the heart, little back bend. Exhale, hands come down through heart center. Opening up to Tadasana or mountain pose. Inhale, circle and lift the arms up. Exhale, bend the knees, hinge from the hips, folding all the way forward. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, hands come to the mat, stepping the right foot back, stepping the left foot back, arriving in a high plank. Stay lifted through the knees or lower them down. As we lower down through our chaturanga, coming up through cobra or up dog, and then exhale through tabletop or over the toes to downward facing dog. Big breath in, big breath out. Shoulders draw away from the ears, long through the spine. Stillness or movement works here. Stay connected with the breath and keep your attention inwards. Finding one point to focus on, even in these seemingly easier positions. Gently look towards the hands and melt your knees back down to the mat. Untuck the toes. Spread wide through the fingers. Flex into that left foot. Inhale, lifting the left foot up, open through the chest. Exhale, round through the spine as you draw the knee in towards the chest. Inhale, flex the foot, lifting it up. Exhale, knee draws in towards the chest, squeezing the belly. Inhaling, lift. Exhale to squeeze it in and up. Inhale to lift. Exhale, squeeze the belly, moving at your own pace of breath. For 5, 4, 3, strong through the belly for 2, and then on the last one, keeping it lifted, opening through the chest. Find your weight evenly distributed through the right knee and the left hand, and then begin to lift the right arm back in space, opening up through the chest. Foot comes to the hand, or hand comes to the foot rather. Opening up through the chest. Notice your breath, keeping active through that foot. Steady through the breath. And then gently begin to release back down to the mat. Tuck the toes under, lifting the knees, lifting the hips, downward facing dog. Bringing the big toes to touch. Inhale the left leg high. Bend into the knee and open up through the hip. Left heel over towards the right space. Draw the knee up in space to create space through that left hip. Big breath in. Big breath out. Gently square the hips back off and draw the knee in towards the chest as your shoulders come over your wrists. Inhale, lift up and back. Exhale to draw it in. Stay connected with your breath. Inhaling, lifting up and back. Exhale to draw it in. 2 more. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, draw it in, planting that left foot in front. Find your balance first. Inhale, lift up to crescent lunge. Exhale, horizon twist towards the left, opening up the arms. Inhale, lifting the arms up by the biceps. Sink the hips a little bit lower. And then on an exhale, fingertips come down to the mat. Shift the weight into the left foot, stepping the right foot to join the left. And on an exhale, fold over the legs. Take ragdoll, hands to elbows, gently swaying from side to side, opening up through the low back, the upper back, and the mid back. There can be as much of a bend in the knees as what feels good in the body. Stay relaxed through the head and the neck, the shoulders, and then gently release the hands down towards the mat. Bend into the knees generously and gently and slowly roll up, vertebra by vertebra. Coming up to stand, roll the shoulders down and away from the ears. Interlace the fingers behind the back, opening through the chest. Root down through all 4 corners of the feet, and then inhale to reach the arms away from the back. Exhale to gently release. 2 more like that. Inhaling to lift. Exhaling to release. Last one, inhaling to lift. Exhaling to release. Rolling the wrists out to the front space, opening the hands. Bring the hands either to heart center or to the hips, whichever feels more balancing for you. And then we're gonna sink the hips back in space and down. So coming back to chair pose with the legs, we're gonna leave the arms wherever it's more comfortable for your balance. So at heart center or your hips. Then begin to shift the weight over towards your right foot to lift the left foot up off the ground, sinking still into that right glute, and then bring the left ankle just above where that ledge is created above your knee. And then begin to sink the hips back. So opening up through the left hip. Keep the left foot really active and at the same time engage the right glute. So strong through the right glute and at the same time opening up through the left hip. And then option to challenge your balance by drawing the biceps to frame the ears. Hands draw up in space, sinking the hips any bit lower. And then if it feels okay, begin to hinge from the hips and find your fingertips towards the mat. Keeping the right knee over the right ankle. So drawing the hips back in space so that the knee isn't coming forward past the ankle. This is going to deepen the hip stretch through the left side. Always an option to bring props underneath your hands to bring the ground a little bit closer to you. Keep noticing the breath. And then gently begin to lengthen through the right leg to release the left foot down to the mat. Fold over the legs and just let the hips sway from side to side, maybe even walking the hands to the outer part of one foot and then the outer part of the other foot. Relaxing through the head and the neck. Coming back through center, bend into the knees generously to roll up vertebra by vertebra. Shoulders roll down and away from the ears, opening through the chest. And then bringing, again, the hands back to the hips or to heart center. Begin to sink the hips back and down, coming to chair pose. Hands stay wherever it's most balanced for now, and then shift the weight over to the left foot as you lift the right leg up in space to start, and then crossing so that the ankle rests on the part just above the left knee. Flexing into the right foot, sinking the hips down any amount. Notice the breath nice and lengthened through the spine and the crown of the head, long through the back of the neck. And then notice where you might be holding onto tension, maybe through the jaw or the shoulders. Notice where you can soften, sink the hips down any bit more, and then option to stay where you are, or option to hinge from the hips, holding forward, and then maybe even finding your fingertips to rest on the ground. So totally normal for each side to be different. You might find this side easier, you might find this side harder. Making sure that that left knee stays over the left ankle. Keep noticing the breath. And then gently begin to lengthen through that left leg to release the right foot back down to the mat. Heel toe your feet open so that the toes point out, heels brought in. And then sink the hips down, coming into Malasana Yogi squat, hands to heart center, opening up through the chest, opening up through the hips as well. Knees drop back in space as the shoulder blades draw together. And then gently release the right hand in front, the left hand to support behind you, just to lower all the way down to the mat. I have a goat that is behind me. Stretching the legs out in front. Pose up towards the face. Inhale, lifting the arms up. Exhale, hinge from the hips and fold forward. Kind of taking a passive forward fold. So rather than actively pulling or pushing in any direction, allow the upper body to simply melt towards the lower body, no matter what degree, more or less, you're folded. Just focus on instead relaxing into this passive forward fold. Breathing into the whole back side of the body. From heels, back of the low legs, back of the upper legs, up through the glutes and the low back, the mid back and the upper back. Releasing through the head and the neck as your head draws towards the knees. And then gently draw the hands so that they face down towards the earth and walk them back inch by inch, supporting the upper body as you draw the upper body up in space to a seat. Rolling the shoulders down and away from the ears. Plant the feet on the mat and then gently and simply lower yourself down onto your back. As you arrive on your back, draw the knees in towards the chest and take any last bit of movement before we settle into a Shavasana. So it could be happy baby, it could be a gentle twist on each side. Just taking a moment to honor the cues of your own body, coming back to our intention and any other intentions we brought to our practice this evening. And then as you feel ready, you can begin to settle into your Shavasana, lengthening the legs long. Hands and arms can open up towards the sky or down towards the earth. Draw the shoulders down and away from your ears. Feel the whole back body resting on your mat. You feel your whole front body opening up to the sky. Feel the lower body from heels to hips and the upper body from hips to crown of head. Feel and notice the right half of the body and the left half of the body, and where the two halves of the body meet in the middle. Rest in stillness and with an ease of breath for Shavasana. Gently begin to deepen your breath. Inviting small movements back into your fingers and your toes. Begin to draw one knee into the chest and the other knee into the chest. Using your hands as support on top of your knees, gently rock from side to side. Massaging out the low back. And then slowly and gently make your way over onto your right side, using your right arm as a pillow. Pausing here for a moment. And then slowly and gently begin to draw yourself up to a seat. And as you arrive into your comfortable seat, draw the shoulders up towards the ears and then back and down, opening up through the chest. We'll bring our hands to heart center, closing the practice with a unifying breath, deep breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And may any goodness from this yoga practice resonate out to all beings everywhere. Namaste.